Every time I see you, you make my heart say,
Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be reviewing Tyler Perry's House of Payne episodes 7 and 8. So it starts off with Miranda waiting in the backyard of Aunt Ella's after she had previously talked to Janine, and Janine spoke with Aunt Ella and asked her to talk to Miranda, which I personally thought was a little creepy that she was in the backyard, but whatever. So Miranda's in the backyard, and her and Aunt Ella is talking, and basically she's telling Aunt Ella about how, she's feeling all these emotions, and Calvin hates her, and she doesn't know what to do, and so then of course Aunt Ella, being the Christian that she is, tells her, okay, let's pray. Let's just pray. So then it goes to Miranda. She goes over to see if Janine is home. Malik and Jasmine are at the house, and Malik is rushing her off, like, no, she's not here. Malik acts like he doesn't really want Miranda there because he doesn't feel like hearing about her and Calvin's issues. So that's kind of funny. And people were kind of like talking about Malik as if to say he was rude. But the thing about Malik that I really like is that he is growing up. He's an adult now, and he has his own mind. I mean, he learned things from Aunt Ella and Uncle Curtis and his parents, and he took that, and I'm sure he has that with him, but also he has his own mind. I mean, he's his own person, and kids grow up and they develop their own individuality, and they become who they choose to become. And I think that it's hard for people to accept that, because we watched Malik when he was younger and he was just a sweet kid, and I think he still is deep down, but he also is opinionated, and he's entitled to that. There's nothing wrong with that. So anyway, Miranda's just kind of hanging around, waiting for Janine, and it's obvious that she's waiting around for more than just Janine. And so she finds out that Calvin's coming over. He's coming back with CJ. So of course she's standing around and she's waiting, which I thought was really strange. Let me just say, Miranda was really irking me. I mean, just the whole idea of her lingering around his family, I might add, waiting to see if, he's going to come around. And the thing is, like, I feel like she was using on Ella because she knows Aunt Ella is a Christian. I felt like she was taking advantage of the fact that his family, was there, and that she thought that she could maybe persuade him through his family to take her back. And that really was a cold, to me, that was a cold move. It wasn't cool at all. So she's standing there, and then of course CJ and Calvin do come, and of course Calvin is annoyed and he walks off. He just leaves. And so then CJ does invite her to dinner, and and of course Malik is like, no. So anyway, then basically, I just didn't understand. Miranda was just too, I don't know, she was just like hanging around. It was just like weird to me. Like, I didn't understand why she was being like that all of a sudden. Like, this didn't even seem like the Miranda that we knew. Like, she just didn't seem like that type of person that would be doing something like that. But then she just seems desperate. She seems like she will do anything to get Calvin back. So after he leaves, and then she is invited to dinner, then we go to episode 8, where let me just say this: Malik and Jasmine talk to their dad. They have a cute little conversation about child support and about being married, and I thought that was really nice to see them bonding and talking with their dad and just being older, just like it's a whole new kind of change for them, because now their dad is having to talk to them and really see their individuality, really see their personalities as adults, and they're kind of like all on the same level now. So I thought that was really neat. So then in episode 8, of course, Calvin is going over to his house, his mom and dad's house, to talk to his mom. And in the interim, his father's there and he's talking to him a little while. But, his father's trying to give him advice and he doesn't really want the advice from his dad. So he waits for his mother. And then when he finally does talk to his mom, he's upset with her and he tells her, I didn't want anybody talking to her, anybody in the family. And she was trying to explain to him that, if I want to talk to her, I can. You can't stop me from talking to her. And so basically, Calvin got upset and he left while his mother was talking. So he leaves, goes to his condo, and she goes over to see CJ first before she goes to see Calvin, and then CJ's telling her that he has an issue with Malik's girlfriend and how she doesn't help out around the house and that she's living there. And so she's so it's just kind of funny. She comes down the steps and she's like twerking, and it was kind of funny. So then Aunt Ella goes over to see Calvin, and she basically scolds him and tells him that he should never bite the hand that birthed him. Basically, don't disrespect your mom. You never disrespect your parents. And so he apologizes to her, and then she brings Miranda with her to talk to Calvin. And basically, Miranda is basically telling Calvin that she still loves him, she misses him, and she kisses him. And then she asks him if he misses her. He's like, we're never getting back together. And this is the thing. Let me just say this about Miranda. I was annoyed with Miranda these whole 2 episodes, even the last episode, episode 6. I was annoyed with Miranda because, first of all, Miranda, if you guys remember, Miranda stole Uncle Curtis's credit cards, and then she swindled her way, and then she went running back to Calvin asking him to forgive her and take her back, and he did. So the other thing is, when Calvin's parents had to go live with them because they had to get their house fixed, there was something, I don't know if it was with the flooring, or it was something going on with their house, but they had to get it fixed. They couldn't stay there, and they stayed with Calvin and Miranda. Miranda was so rude to them. Like, she was telling Calvin, oh, your parents have to go, I can't take it. I mean, she was really rude. And then when Calvin got shot, first of all, Calvin got shot going back to CJ and Janine's house to get that dumb hat that she was complaining about for his christening. And he went back to get the hat, gets shot by a guy who was coming on to Miranda. And then when he was in the hospital, she didn't know what had happened. She was just complaining and talking about how he was, somewhere faking around. And not once did she even inquire about maybe something happened to him. She didn't even think that way. And see, that was a problem for me. And then when she found out he got shot, then she want to cry and all, like, having this meltdown and all this kind of stuff. So for me, Miranda is the type of person, from what I have seen, she appears to be the type of person that, first of all, she has a mom. Her mom is a lawyer. Her father is a doctor. She comes from a well-to-do family. She has been privileged. She appears to be very spoiled and used to getting her way. And she expects people to just she expects to do what she wants to do. And then when she's ready to come back, she expects people to just drop everything and accept her apology or accept her coming back. And that is exactly what she's doing to Calvin. She expected for him to just take her back because all of a sudden now she's ready. Forget that she left. Forget that. And I'm telling you, when she walked out on him, I remember that last episode when she came out, that she was packing that bag. I'll never forget it. She was a black suitcase. She was packing that bag, and he had those flowers in his hand. He had some roses in his hand that he was going to give her. He came through the door and she was packing. She was saying that she was leaving him, that it was just never the right time to tell him. And she told him out of her mouth that she didn't love him anymore. And he was trying to talk to her. And as he was talking to her, she walked out that door with that rolling suitcase. And I'm telling you, my heart dropped because she didn't even let him finish what he was saying. The door wasn't even completely shut. It was kind of like moving when she left out, and just, I mean, my heart sunk. I felt so bad for Calvin because he really was trying his best. And the thing that Miranda never really stopped to consider, and I think the family unfortunately didn't see it either. When Calvin got shot, Calvin was dealing with some major PTSD. He was having flashbacks, he was having nightmares, he couldn't sleep, and they didn't really understand what it was. And I think Calvin probably should have gotten therapy. He probably should have gotten some counseling, and maybe Miranda would have understood a little bit better, and his family, because I don't think anybody really knew the depth of what he was going through. And so, but even with all of that, Miranda did not even have the strength to say, you know what, regardless of how I feel, this is a time when he really needs me, and I'm going to hang in there and stick it out with him. But instead, she chose to walk away. And now, all of a sudden, she want to come back when she sees that he's doing better. You know, he has a better job. She knows that he makes more money. She knows that he's doing all the things that she wanted him to do when they were together. But that's how it works sometimes. You know, it's like, you know, she should have hung in there with him, and she would have seen that he was going to do better. But she chose not to. And I don't think anything is wrong if he does not take her back. I hope he doesn't. I personally hope that he moves on with somebody else. And maybe she needs that because she's so used to getting her way. She's used to people just dropping and doing whatever. She comes from that kind of background. So I just, you know, and then I was a little taken back by Aunt Ella because Aunt Ella normally, I mean, she basically told Calvin it was his fault. And Aunt Ella was always a pretty, she would stand back and be able to see both sides, and she would kind of give them both sides of it instead of just leaning towards one person. But she didn't do that this time, and I thought that was sort of, it didn't really, wasn't telling of the history of the show, because if you really watch Aunt Ella's personality throughout the show history, she was always a very she was wise, and she would stand back and look at the whole situation. And this time she just kind of was pointing her finger at Calvin, which I thought was unfair to him. So let me know what you think. Do you think Calvin and Miranda should get back together? Do you think that it's over for them, that chapter is gone? Do you think there's hope for them? Did you think Miranda was wrong or right? And what do you think about Malik and his girlfriend situation? How do you think TJ and Janine should handle that with his girlfriend? Let me know what you think. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this review. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in my next video.